Hello, my name is Eric Langhorst. You're watching the History Geek Teacher vlog, episode number 9, and today's topic is 3D printing in the U.S. history classroom. So the vlog today will be a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing a video with you in a couple minutes that I did for another project. I'm actually a 2016-2017 Dremel ambassador this year, which means I have a 3D printer in my classroom, which is awesome. And I did a little video for them to kind of recap some of the things we've been working on in our classroom, and I wanted to share that with you today. Just a little backstory before I show you the video. This all started this past spring when I was reading Twitter and I saw a tweet from Dremel asking for teachers to apply to be a Dremel teacher ambassador for this upcoming year. They selected 10 teachers to be ambassadors and essentially try out using a 3D printer in their classroom, and they're from all different subject areas. I believe out of the 10, I'm the only one that happens to teach history, but I also teach broadcasting and I teach a tech class. So I teach 3 different classes that we're incorporating the 3D printer into in this school year. I also want to note that before August of this past fall, I had absolutely no experience with a 3D printer. I had seen some 3D printers at things like maker fairs and things like that, but I'd never actually used one. This has been a very easy process, and I'll go into the nuts and bolts of creating a file or finding a file and then putting it on the Dremel 3D printer. But this has been an outstanding experience, very easy, very comfortable. I've had very few problems, and it's really energized my classroom this year. Several times throughout the year, I'll be creating a video and sharing with Dremel about how we're using it in the various classrooms that I have. And the video that I did this past week was on how we've used a 3D printer in our first unit of study in 8th grade U.S. history. Our first unit of study is early colonization, early settlements, and we started to focus on Jamestown. So this video is going to describe a couple different ways that we incorporated how we were learning about Jamestown with the Dremel 3D printer. So without further ado, here is the short 5-minute video that I created for Dremel this past week. Hi, my name is Eric Langhorst. I teach at Discovery Middle School in Liberty, Missouri, and I'm a 2016-2017 Dremel ambassador. One of the courses that I teach at Discovery is 8th grade U.S. history. We just finished our first unit of study talking about early settlement in America, and we focused a lot on the settlement of Jamestown. Now, Jamestown was the first permanent settlement in America, circa about 1607. We incorporated the Dremel Idea Builder 3D printer in several different ways in our unit, and I wanted to share a couple of examples with you. As we studied some of the archaeological work currently being done at Jamestown, we visited the Smithsonian X3D site. In 2015, the Smithsonian scanned several significant burial sites at Jamestown. These 3D scans are available on the web to view, or you can also download them to be able to print on a 3D printer. We 3D printed one of these burial sites with white filament. The students were amazed to be able to touch and see and feel the archaeological site that we had just studied. It was a little difficult to see the definition in the bones, so I printed a second larger scan. I also used some brown enamel paint to bring out the definition for the students to see. The second way in which we used a 3D printer for this previous unit was to have students create a model of the Jamestown fort. Now, I typically give students a choice to create a Jamestown model in different formats. Some of my students do it with traditional popsicle sticks. Some of them in recent years have created models out of Minecraft. This year, several of my students wanted to make their 3D model of the Jamestown fort using Tinkercad and then print it on the Dremel printer.
I chose to do the 3D model because I'd never done it before and it was new and I thought it was pretty cool. Well, it's the Jamestown fort, so that is the ramps that go up with the cannons to fire and protect their area. That was the church. Those were the houses they lived in, and that was the storage No.
I decided to do it instead because I thought it would be interesting to do other than making out of popsicle sticks, and I like experimenting with things, so it was a really fun activity to do. Yeah, well, like I showed in the other part on the computer, how the outside barriers worked really well with the logs and how they connected in kind of like wooden planks. And then on top, the buildings inside, they look just like real buildings and really adds that special aspect. And then how I was able to make the ramp going up to where they would shoot off of if any invaders tried to attack, and it turned out really well.
So this is your first 3D printed project. Do you think that you would use the 3D printer again?
Yes, most definitely. It was so fun and amazing to see the final product that came out of it.
My students are excited to continue to use the Idea Builder in different ways in our upcoming units. One of the units we have coming up, of course, is the election unit on the presidential election. And one of the things I've been working with is printing several models of the Electoral College. So this is kind of a neat model to show students a little bit about how the Electoral College works. And each state has a 3D representation based on the number of electors they have in their state. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you guys posted on the amazing things that we're doing with Dremel and our 3D printer. Thanks, Dremel. So there you have just a couple of examples of how we've used the Dremel 3D printer in our own classroom. So far, we've only been in school for about a month. If you are a history teacher that is currently using a 3D printer in your classroom, please let me know. You can contact me with the contact information on our website, which is www.historygeekteacher.com, or you can leave some comments in the YouTube video below. I would love to connect with more history teachers who are using this technology in their classroom. I'll also be presenting on it at various conferences and different events throughout the year, so I would love to hear how other history teachers are also using it with their students. Thanks for watching. If you like the vlog, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. That way, every time we publish a new episode, it'll come right to your mailbox. So if you got any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. And remember, history is so much more than just a bunch of boring old dead guys. Although George is pretty amazing too. It's just kind of my tagline. So yeah, thanks for watching.